Hey everyone, Ivy League Gaming here, and today we're playing Watcher of Realms. For today's video, we have a Dev Insights post, a big Q&A to go over, and we need to take a quick look at some more summons to come.
The finest blood for the most untainted soul.
So, as expected, another normal weekend event, Friday, right? 2 times event, okay. But what's not expected is another ancient summoning event again. I mean, actually, it probably is expected because they are releasing the new faction heroes. So Praetus Thalin, Pelagios, and Eunomia can be summoned in the ancient summoning event. So they have added some of the new Supreme Arbiters to the pool. But this is not your best chance to get those Supreme Arbiters because it's going to be another 10 times event. Also, Velcro and Constance have been added to the pool. We have boosted 10 times rates for... Oh, wait, no, one of them. Legendary Lord Elder, but not Praetus, just to be clear. Chaotic Hero Ardea, who's my probably most wanted hero in the game now. Legendary Arbiter Hero Thalin. So, okay, we got one of the Supreme Arbiters who is a fighter for the Isoteria and the new Arbiter faction. So, they're just doing ancient events so constantly right now. I don't know if this is going to be the new normal. It used to be like once a month would be an ancient summoning event. Maybe this is only because of the new faction coming out, but I have no idea if we should expect multiple summoning events every month now. I don't know. I think it's gonna be time to actually start saving our summons for ancients anyway, because if it's just that frequent, then we won't have to just feel like we're holding them forever for no reason. I'm really, really, really wanting to get Ardea. Like, this is one of those times where as it gets close to Christmas and I feel less guilty splurging and buying myself a present, this is one of those times I might buy like a pack if they have good value. But the Ancients, I don't know that the Ancients ever feel like they're good value for purchase because, well, they're the Ancients who can still get rares. They're like Void Shards in Raid, guys. Void Shards sound good, but on paper you could still get a 10 pull of rares. So, don't know that they're the most exciting, but my gosh, I want Ardea. I might be a little risky if they give us really good value. So we'll see. But yeah, today's video is mostly for the Dev Insights. We have another Dev Insights for December 4th. So 33 questions/comments as I scroll way too fast apparently. But yeah, we're gonna go through these together. I'll try my best to be quick and quickly translate the other ones. But hopefully there's some interesting information here besides knowing that there's a big ol' summoning event coming. Hopefully we can get some Easter eggs about other new content to come besides the update, which will be live not very soon after this video, but tomorrow. All right, so question number 1. All right, we good on the screen? I think so. Hello, you guys really need to make a gold option, make an option to purchase a different amount of W gold. I bought a pack a long time ago, which was $14.99. So I had to buy $9.99 and $4.99, which doesn't make $4.99. So I bought another $4.99, and now I have $4.98 gold, which I can't refund or use on anything. It's just stuck there. That's really interesting, actually. Thank you for your feedback, Commander. We'll definitely launch more W Gold recharge options where you should be able to select the amount that best fits your needs. All right. Interesting there for sure. That's for the online charge-ups, which are usually better value than if you purchase via Plarium Play because there's like a discounted rate with it, and it's different with your taxes. I might have a cool offer coming soon, depending on if it goes through, where I'll have my own special code for Smile 1 where you can get your discounts and also support me at the same time. So you might be able to get a discount and support your content creator, so we'll see if that happens. All right, next up here, question number 2. Hello, today we added the ability to link email. I linked the wrong Google account by mistake. Why can't I unlink it in game as a social media account? Can you please help me to unlink my Google account, or at least relink it to a current one? So, oh, this is good. Thank you for your suggestion, Commander. We're working on a feature that would allow you to unbind and rebind your account. Stay tuned. That's really good to hear, honestly, because yes, sometimes people like to make multiple accounts and play them, and then they like one better than the other. And they don't want to feel like they have to link one thing to Facebook, one thing to VK, one thing to Google, or have to make multiple accounts. Or yeah, what if you just link to the wrong thing? Or yeah, what if your Facebook gets compromised or something weird and you want to be able to just unlink it straight up? Sometimes it's not that easy to do so. So that's a nice feature. Hopefully that is added soon. All right, question 3. I bound my account by email, not by Facebook or Google Play. But I can't get back to my account because the option for email login isn't available. This was misleading and very confusing. Is my account lost even though I secured my email binding? Thank you for your feedback, Commander. We've already made it possible for players to log into the game using an email to bind their account. It will be launched first on the Forerunner server. Okay, now that's good to hear. So they added this stupid email binding feature that was pointless, except allowing them to track us, let's be honest, because that's what happens with these things. Allowing us to track our habits or whatever. I don't even know. Who knows with all these things? I'm not that person that's really paranoid about it, though. Whatever. My phone is literally always listening. Hello, Google. But when they added this in-game email binding, it was the most pointless thing ever, because it's like, what's the point of binding to an email if we can't even use it as an option to log in? So glad to hear they're actually making a real login feature involving an email, not necessarily connecting to a Google account, just an email itself through their own system. I've been wanting that for a while. That would be great. All right, question 4. Please fix the censorship. Thank you. We've already optimized the logic that chat censorship, and we'll be sure to keep a close eye out for your feedback. So I think people need to be not so general with this. If there's specific funny things that are being censored, report them directly. Be like, the game keeps censoring this, but it's a character's name. Can you please stop censoring the character's name? That is what they need so they can uncensor certain words. Okay, question number 5. There are no good items in the event stores. It would be really cool to be able to use event coins for useful things. Oh my god, it's so true. The current event is just terrible. Like, you barely could use your... like, what are you gonna buy? They didn't even give us good old gold options this time. It was bad. It was bad. But yeah, for legendary skill stones, summoning stones, auto swords, stamina potions, etc. I mean, that was part of the event, but they didn't give us much. Other than that, the events have been a good frequency, have been interesting. Yeah, the redeem shop in the current event is just really bad this time. I didn't want to spend my turkeys on anything because we can't save the bonuses. If we could buy some gold bonuses and buy the XP bonuses and they go to our backpack instead of being immediately used, I would have just bought those and used them in the future when I want to go crazy grinding. But for now, it just didn't really... yeah, it didn't make sense to buy those. Alright, so this question 6 says, I don't have enough daily energy for a full game. I'd like to devote more time free-to-play gameplay. So we'll consider adding more ways for you to obtain stamina in events. Yeah, I mean, there could have definitely been even more stamina added to, or like potions to use later, added to the current event shop that was pretty bad. Alright, we need, question 7, we need way more auto tickets. How is it possible that I, a paying player, am expected to run the battles manually like some kind of peasant? Are you kidding me? Why do I have 20,000 stamina and 10 tickets left in my account? I didn't even tap into my gems yet. Totally unacceptable. See, I have like 400 multi battles left. They want to do hundreds per day from the monthly stamina package. Yeah, I mean it's true. The daily, monthly, the daily, the monthly package that we get something every day is a little minimal, but I don't find myself grinding crazy every day. Just depend on what events are happening. So maybe that's just me. I do remember, you know, I mean, they do give the ways to buy them with your gems, which is at least an option. So I have to say that's pretty good. Although most people aren't going to do that. But yeah, I like the idea of just having more auto tickets in the shop. In different shops. The Dwarven Association is nice, but depends on how random you get them. Maybe just make sure they're in all the shops, or more so with events. They were a part of the event. That was nice. Question 8, light suggestion. Can I please suggest a Medusa Archer as a hero? Snake-like body with hair of snakes, like Mithrala. An ability to freeze enemies by turning them to stone. Cheers. And they said, we'll keep your suggestion in mind. Alright, next up here, hold on, translation. Add feminine profile pictures while it looks disrespectful. There are only 3 female avatars, the rest are male. I mean, the avatars kind of suck. We know this. They need to just let us use the characters as avatars. But there's a lot of kind of just neutral, like demons or a shark or a robot or something. I don't know. But those types of things are kind of, yeah, they're just more neutral, aren't they? At the end of the day? Could be a female shark. It's not Maul. Is it? Maybe. I don't know. What am I doing? That's not translation. Alright, in the contribution rating, you should not be penalized if you weren't attacked. There's no clear indication of how the defense wins and losses affect your contribution either. The wins on offense and defense should be green, not red. It makes us feel like the greens are the wins when they're in fact the losses. Yeah, I've always found the Guild Wars display very confusing. It's like, it should be green and show victory when we win, when we're the ones looking at it. Not like, it shouldn't show who, like, it shouldn't show the enemy winning and making it look positive because that's a negative for us. It's definitely true. That does need some optimization. Alright, I want to change home screen characters. So they're working on launching more content for the camp. Stay tuned. Yeah, that's funny. Like, Dragonair lets you pick who hangs out at your campsite and who walks around the world with you. I like that. Alright, question 12. Some of the heroes, summons, and advancements have special voices. Collection fans hope to be able to do voice collections and advanced animation review. I hope this function can be added. Voice collections? Oh, to like be able to hear their voiceovers separately. Yeah, a lot of games have it when you go to the character, you could like actually play all their voiceovers. I feel like that's more of an anime type game thing though. Maybe and this is an Asian dialect, of course. Maybe that's just more common in the Asian-based games versus the Western market ones, I feel. So they said, we're working on making this feature viable that you may revisit heroes' promotion animations and their voiceover. However, this feature may need a while before we launch it. Question 13. It may be unimportant, but please give us more profile pictures to choose from. Perhaps some of them as reward for certain achievements, like you do for Arena. They said they're working on adding more achievements as well as enabling options for you to do DIY, personal information, and so on. We're still working on the specifics, so stay tuned. Question 14. Hello again. Please lower the amount of animations there are for losses and victories. When it's quicker to close the game and reopen the game before the animation is done, there is a problem. I'm sorry if this seems tedious, but it's incredibly annoying to wait for the icon to just move a little bit to the left when you're able to leave the game mode you're playing. Sorry if this is something other people have already suggested. So thank you for your feedback. The defeat and victory animation will no longer be shown for auto fight once we launch the auto fight while not in the game feature. So remember when we were talking about background farming before? It sounded like the background farming was going to be more so related to while you are in the game, You can do auto fights in the background while you're doing something else. This sounds like you'd be able to close your game and do auto fights. Will no longer be shown for auto fight once we launch the auto fight while not in game feature. Real background farming, like you set up a bunch of battles, you like not necessarily close your app, but at least where it's minimized and it's not on your screen of your phone. And you could literally be on other apps, be on YouTube, be on whatever, and not have to have it up playing, and then you come back and your auto fights are done. Oh my gosh, that sounds even better. While not in the game. I hope that's worded correctly, because that would be amazing. All right. Question 15. We have just wait, could we just have a base zoom of all the way out or leave it zoomed out on mobile? Especially in arena, it rezooms back down and both my team's opponents aren't visible. It makes it difficult to place heroes in arena, guild, boss, campaign, etc. Yeah, I've always hated the views. You could barely see the whole screen. We do acknowledge the fact that each player may have a different need for how the game is displayed, so we'll be adding a default view feature to help adjust that. Yeah, there needs to be, like, sometimes you have to, like, move the board to see a bottom row. You shouldn't have to move the whole board. You should be able to see the whole board very easily and have it locked that way and not have to worry about moving the board around while stuff is crazy and happening. Alright, question 16. First, PvP is pretty sweet. I do enjoy it. My one issue, please remove AoE DPS. It's just, do you have Vierna or no, you lose. I mean, I like the AoE DPS. I do have Vierna now, but I just started using her. But even before that, I found it kind of fun. But it is kind of true. But they are revamping Arena, which will be launched in our latest update. There are more strategies for you to try out. Stay tuned. They're getting rid of sustained DPS on the Forerunner server, so... Alright, question 17. I have a question. Do ancient summons and regular summons have a common pity timer or not? If not, write in the accessible language in notification or in calls. So summoning events where the summoning crystals used are the same share a pity timer, regardless of the specific featured heroes. In general, all Invocation of Spirits events share the same pity. And the same hold true for Divine, Summoning, and Ancient. So no, they don't share. So the confusing part in this game is... I know I'm kind of chopped, but I think we'll be able to see what we need to as all my daily stuff pops up. So here, when you go to your event summon rewards and you see your total, it actually counts the ancient summoning events, even though it says only rare summoning crystals or diamonds will be counted. This count here actually counts ancients, but it's not supposed to. So if you're confused about your count being higher than it should be for a pity hit, don't forget to minus out your ancient summons until they fix that. But that's definitely a bug. That's not how this is intended. Rare summoning crystals or diamonds will be counted only. It says that. So ancients are not meant to be counted with the summon reward counter. But keep in mind, guys, this is a summon reward counter. This is not a pity counter. It's not like keeping track of everything. It doesn't tell you when your next legendary is. This is just for the sake of rewards. So don't be mad that they're accidentally adding in more stuff to get your rewards faster. For now, it just makes it a little more confusing until they add the other thing back in the game, which is supposed to be kind of a summon tracker, like a record keeper. All right, question 18. This Christmas will be the first Christmas in the game. It's extremely important how you handle the events. I suggest adding part of your event plans, like there's a 50% off for 3 days. Christmas, also make memberships cost 6 months for the price of 1. Oh god, I mean, that would be nice. This will make it a competitive player purchase it undoubtedly. And after 6 months are passed, everyone will be so hooked on the bonuses, they'll renew their membership for sure. Also, create something for new players that boosts their experience and goal by making 300%, for example, and older players should be able to recruit new players through social media. Make sure you do your best this Christmas, as it'll be a first major holiday event in your game. Everything should be super cheap, rewards should be flying, and you can hook up players in your game. You can hook players up in your game. Go all out, guys. Don't be afraid to be generous. Bring life to the game. Good luck. And our person's very enthusiastic. All right, thank you for your suggestion, Commander. We do have some thrilling Christmas content ready for you to enjoy. Stay tuned. Question 19. Make it so new members can join the Guild War immediately. Also make alert so people who have not set their Guild War in defense. Yeah, a reminder to do so would be nice. I'm not gonna lie. Because even if we have our defense set, you might need to adjust it. You should have like a confirmation button to remind people to go in and be like, yep, okay, I'm gonna keep my defense the same, or oh no, I want to adjust it. A little reminder would be good because the schedule, even though I always think like, oh, we're done with Guild Wars. Oh wait, nope, there's one more. And I know there's been plenty of times where my guildmates have been like, I'm sorry, I thought it ended. It's just, it's not, we're still not used to it yet. We're not used to the pattern. We're not used to the schedule yet. So I think people could use some more red dots to remind them. Members recommended is full of people who have been offline for days and weeks. Who would need offline people? Members recommended should be only people who have been online in the past 2 days maximum. No guild needs inactive players. Oh, so as a guild, as a leader, when you're trying to recruit, you could see recommended players to add? Interesting. And then BP issue. Okay, so that we're working on optimizing the matching logics for guild members who haven't garrisoned a fortification. We'll also balance out the matching mechanics. All right, 20. What the hell is wrong with your game balancing in Guild Wars? There's absolutely no balance between the two guilds, yet we're supposed to face off against them. It appears that only fact in the game when matching is how many vacant defender position has. The total BP and player development level between these guilds is nowhere near the same. There's literally no point in us playing because we don't stand a chance. Your system's completely broken and doesn't work whatsoever. Why would anyone be excited for Guild Wars when they just get smashed instantly by a far superior opponent? Also, who is it that works and figures out what's to be a good way to match guilds? A guild can have 30 members of 100k BP, and all of them place defenses in what? They'd get matched up against another guild that has 30 defenses? That insufferable system makes the game unplayable. It's extremely shameful on your part. Okay, I don't see why you'd need a suggestion to realize a guild with 100 million power should never be matched against a guild with 10 million power. How is that you released an entirely new feature without considering this crucial fact? This should have been a number one thought. Guilds should be primarily matched by total power and then other factors, blah, 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 blah. Okay, so before I even read their reply, I do need to give some props. I don't know if it was a YouTube comment while I was live, Discord conversation, what it was, but someone made a really good point to me. Because I actually had that complaint of like, the matchmaking is terrible. Like, it doesn't make any sense. But it's needed. Oh, I think it was in the content creator chat. Think about tournament style brackets. If the weakest opponents were matched against the weakest opponents, they could advance every round, and go higher up the rankings, and eventually the best of the weakest will go against the best of the strongest in the finals. That doesn't make sense. You kind of have to have a high-level guild take out the lower ones for the sake of overall rankings. That needs to happen, and I realize that now. I didn't think about that myself the first 2 weeks where we got smashed. Oh no, first week we had a very easy opponent that we just destroyed with my guild. And then the second week we got the number one guild in the game as our opponent. So that was fun. And I was so annoyed by this hot mess of matchmaking, but it makes sense. You have to think about it from that way. A tournament bracket cannot have the best of the best fight each other only, and the worst of the worst fight each other only, and the middle of the middle fight each other only, because then everyone makes it to the end in a not logical manner. It should be the best of the best only can make it to the end with the highest ranking possible, because that's how the rankings really are. If the top two guilds faced off against each other immediately with Guild Wars, then the second best guild in the game that loses is now considered low ranking. That's not true. They're still the second best guild in the game, more than likely. So you gotta look at it from a little bit of a different perspective. I agree, I felt this way at first, But after having someone else explain it, it's like, I'm like, oh yeah, you know what? That's right. It's like Eternal Evolution when they had their tournaments. Like the very first round is going to be like one OP person and a bunch of plebs. And the one OP person definitely goes on, and some of the plebs do too. The next round, a couple more OP people, a little less plebs. And then eventually, it's only the OP people that make it to the final rounds because that's who's really at the top. That's the reality. That's the truth. So it makes sense at the end of the day. It's actually more fair that way, unfortunately. It's just not fun when you're one of the lower tier facing off against the Krakens. I see a shout out to me. What's happening? Hey, I've seen this has been entered before through watching the content creators such as Fast, and shout out to Ivy. But yeah, I do believe there should be an accept button for after every fight in the guild boss. I believe the only way we can test our limits is if we can see it till the end. Yeah, it's such a thing. Like, I mentioned Dragonair. They have not only their guild boss, which is called Vortex, but even their big, hard battles at different parts of the game. You don't even accept... You don't just have to take the loss or the low damage if you fuck up. You get a chance to say, I accept this damage. It's so much better than this trial thing that they're working on, which is not ideal the way they described it at all. We need to be able to attempt guild boss. We don't like the result. Retry. Let us practice. But don't just make a testing ground. A testing ground will mean we get our best guild boss ever on the testing ground, and then we're like, oh shit, what did I do exactly? Like, it's gonna be so hard to duplicate that kind of stuff sometimes and remember your exact timings to go do it again. So if it's not in the mode where you can just choose to accept it and then keep your best run, it's gonna be really frustrating for people. I mean, I would like a testing ground, but within the actual accepting of the real fights. Alright, they say we're working on a test flight feature when fighting the guild boss. Stay tuned. It can't be a separate area, though. It has to be the boss fight. But it's as long as it's a little bit of an improvement, I guess I'll take it. Question 22. It would be nice if you let us attack our own defense during prep phase and guild wars. That way we could test different soldier combinations and adjust our defense accordingly. It would be nice if we can set our defense heroes to use their ultimates. Currently, you just bait them with tank demons and they use their ults like there's no tomorrow. So we'll be sure to work on this feature to solve related issues. Question 23. It would be fun if we could set a guild versus guild style defense for our friends to challenge. So same idea. Practice battles. We'll consider having a test flight feature for the guild wars. We'll consider it whether it's viable. Question 24. Hey there, just had a thought while discussing guild wars. It'd be great if the leader could mark garrison teams to be prioritized in attacks. This way, the military uses a laser to guide bombs to a target. Guild Wars 2.0 is much better. Thank you for all you're doing. So currently, you can view and share the stats of guild ranking and announcements. In the guild ranking and announcement area, I mean, I like the idea though of marking garrisons. Doesn't sound like they're gonna do that though. Okay, question 25. There's no protection against consuming awakened heroes in the fusion page. I just lost my Maureen with max awakenings because of it. So they already have optimized this. This is something that should not happen anymore, at least with the next update. But yeah, we already optimized the related issues. So if you have someone with gear on, it doesn't let you fuse them either anymore. You have to take their gear off first. So if you accidentally fuse, if it's someone you're actually using, you would hope they have gear on. So that's one good failsafe. Alright, to add some gold tokens to the shop, it's stupid that you have to wait a week for reset to grind gold as very amounts of gold needed to level up gear. Thanks. So be adding more gold in different modes and events. That's always a topic. Question 27, week 2 of my weekly suggestion. Until it is implemented. Auto battles to all stages of Void Rift, including the bosses and mini-bosses. They're already working on optimizing this. Yes, please. I don't want to fight Lasir. If I frustratingly have to go do some weird strategy and it takes me a couple hours to finally get it right, Don't make me do it again next week. Just let it be like gear raids. Once you finally master the puzzle, you can just click it and do it again with the power of dominance turned on, right? I agree. Don't make me do it again. That's why I haven't progressed, is because I know I'm just gonna have to do it again every week, and it's not, I don't know. I like Void Rift, but some of them are more frustrating than fun. Alright, question 28. The second thing being a sandbox-style mode like Bloons TD, where you can try out different builds, different gear sets, and have a way to find out a DPS number similar to the division of what gear set's gonna be. Okay, this is really complicated. Okay, just lacking a way to view. Yeah, this is true. It's almost impossible to tell if a change has improved or made a champion worse while having a full team deployed. Like, this is kind of like I guess in Raid, a fitting room, it would be great if they would copy Raid's fitting room. Even though the gear changing is free, it'd still be really nice to be able to have a fitting room set of gear where you put everything all together that you want for this new set. You can suggest things that are already on the character or new pieces of gear. And then you can compare and see the green, the red of the builds, the stats, which build is actually better, your current build or the build that you're about to put on your character. They said they'll keep it in mind. Sounds great. I think Moonton Watcher, just go copy Raid's fitting room. There's a million things in your game you could tell Raid to copy too, but go copy Raid's fitting room, at least for that. Okay. Question 29. Please add an option in the gear filter system for me to search for only gear items that I've locked. It makes me know which pieces I should enhance. After a very large auto battle with lots of gear, I lose interest after scrolling through, trying to figure out which gear was and wasn't. Then I shut the game off and stop playing. We're gradually working on a filter so be able to adjust to meet your needs. So I think this is one of those things that we just all have to do when we play these games and we just don't like doing it, is gear cleansing and sorting. I would say every time that there's a Tales of the Smith event, just pick something, pick anything, and just roll it all up. If it's not worth rolling up, delete it immediately. Roll it to 4 or 8. If it sucks, delete it immediately, to where all of your gear is rolled on your entire account eventually. That was the later game goals, like when I played Raid. I had everything rolled up to 16, or at least 12, always, before... Yeah, if it was worthy to be on my account, it was already rolled up. And the only pieces I had to check were the pieces not fully rolled. It made a big difference. And then it helps you pick out what to actually use a lot easier, too. Alright, question 30. Higher arena bracket for top 50 or top 20 players with better rewards? They already are working on that. They already are adding, on the Forerunner server, I had that in a video, that the arena meta is going to have like a Apex Overlord ranking, so there'll be a higher tier above Overlord. If they implement that into global, assuming the same way, hopefully. Alright, question 31. I understand wanting exclusive champions to be exclusive, but could there be a plan that after the first year, or 2 or 3, even 3, adding them to the polls, they would be even treated as lords? Very thin chance to get them. What a shame I started playing when Captain Rev was an event and didn't know that that was my one and only chance to get him. So rest assured, we do have plans for exclusive heroes, and they'll make a comeback into the game. You won't need to wait much longer. Christmas? Christmas have banners with the exclusive heroes being 10 times? I don't know. Alright, or just bring back the guaranteed banners of the 250 and guaranteed again. Alright, 320. 32. I don't know where I got that number. Receiving a little gold for each Dragon Pass 50 isn't great. Yeah, I mean, it's not getting anyone excited. No, it's not. Why not give tokens for each level, have the floor, and have a floor prize event with random loot drops? Even if the rewards aren't great, at least it's fun and interactive minigame. We are adjusting the amount of gold you can obtain once you reach level 50. It's terrible. We already adjusted the amount of gold you can obtain once you reach level 50. Did you, though? It's still absolutely atrocious. What did it go from 1,000 to 5,000 and that's supposed to be an improvement? You realize like that we can't even roll up one piece of gear from the amount of gold we get when we take our battle pass to like level 75. They still need to work on that dramatically. All right, 33. This has been more likely already suggested, but I'll never use my rare skill crystals. Oh yeah, so of course we talked about dust and the crystals that are unusable having a place. So we are aware of the issue with overflowing skill dust, and we're working on resolving this. But they're talking about crystals. What about the crystals? So I really think they're going to adjust the skill dust as a currency. I think someone said it's going to be able to be used in Guild Wars regarding upgrading demon soldiers. But this is a good point. I don't even want to know how many rare skill crystals I have that I'm never going to use. It's a good point. Alright guys, that's been all for today's video. Let me know what you think. Does anything stick out to you? And I'll see you in the next video.